Hey guys, it's your girl Adriana and I'm back with another video for you guys, so welcome back. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for joining and feel free to like and subscribe. Today I am going to be doing a makeup tutorial for you guys and a lash application. But we're going to go ahead and jump into the fun stuff because I have a lunch date and that I need to get to, but I really wanted to get this video recorded for you guys. So let's go ahead and get into the fun stuff. So to begin, I'm going to start by moisturizing my face. I just hopped up a shower and didn't do anything. As you can see, it's kind of dry. This is my Saturday Skin Waterfall Glacier Water Cream, and it literally is like a water cream. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's so light, but it's still creamy. I don't know, guys. You just have to try it like yourselves. Like, it's so good. I pretty much use this anytime I'm getting ready to step out, even if I don't apply makeup. It's just so sheer and moisturizing. I just put that everywhere on my face, nothing crazy. These are the shoes that I'm actually going to match the look to. And I'll be using the Fairy Tale Storybook Cosmetics palette for this look. I've only used this palette once before. I got it in a BoxyCharm box, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what my final thoughts are on it as we go along. And I'm going to be using Prince and Castle as my two main colors. And then using Thorn as basically my my blending color to make everything look seamless. Those are my mini brushes that I need to organize, so yeah. I think I was just kind of here talking about the importance of finding the right brush for the shape that you're going to be using it in. Right there, I'm going to be using an angled brush because I'm going to be going into the creases on my lids. So it's important that you find the right brush for the shape of your of the space that you're going to be using. Right here, I'm just concealing my whole lid, and that's just going to give an even color base and almost kind of act like a primer, an eyeshadow primer to prevent creasing of your eyeshadow. You can see it's all the same shade now, a little bit lighter, which is fine because my skin is darker. So that's just going to give it also a lighter base to kind of show up on. Whoa, what's going on, Cam? And then that's going to be my flat eyeshadow brush that I'm just going to use to apply the shadow on top of my lid. The flat brush just helps to apply more evenly, and just it packs into the brush a little bit better. And like I said, I just went in with Prince on here. Ooh, I'm sorry, not Prince. I went in on my lid with Thorn. It's a very light sheer color, but that's what you want as a blending color. You don't want anything too crazy. This needs to be a subtle color just to help blend out any harsh lines that your actual colors do make. So the first color that I went in on my lid with was Castle. Now I'm going to go in with a blending brush, and that one was actually a bit too big, so I got a different one that has a little bit more of a pointier tip that's just going to fit into the crease of my eye a little bit better, if you guys can tell there. And then I went in with Prince, and I don't know if you guys can see from what I'm showing you, but the colors are kind of melting together, and I know that sounds like a good thing, but while we want the colors to blend, we don't want them to mix, if that makes sense. Like, they're just becoming one blue instead of being separate blues, and I wasn't a huge fan of that at all. So I went and found the Dose of Colors palette that I also got in BoxyCharm. The shade Palma is what I actually went in on the inner corner of my eye to use. It was just a change from all the blue. It was still blue, but it was kind of leaning to the green side. And I feel like it broke up the colors well. So again, we got another blending brush. I think that was the bigger one I had before. And I dipped into Thorn. And I'm just going to go over the top, kind of going all the way up to my brow bone. And just blend out those harsh lines where the colors might not be blending quite well. Now, if you guys can see how it's blown out on the side, I was making a point that looks terrible. And that's partly because of the eyeshadow. But even still, if you're a beginner, which is what I try to cater these videos to, it's okay. That's why you always do your eyeshadow before you do your foundation. So when you go in and conceal and put your foundation on, that'll all be gone. You won't even be able to see it anymore. So that's why I implore you to put on your eyeshadow before your foundation. It'll also take care of fallout on your makeup, and I just prefer it. There I'm using Grande Drama Intense Thickening Mascara with castor oil, and I'll link it in the description below. I don't know much about this brand. I also got this in a BoxyCharm box. Matter of fact, I am going to renew my subscription for BoxyCharm because they send me some really interesting products. But yeah, I received that in the box, and I mean, it's okay. Like, it's nothing crazy. I don't think I've mentioned on here before, but my favorite mascara brand is Better Than Sex. So if you haven't tried it, what are you doing? But yeah, so here I'm just applying my NYX liquid eyeliner. I believe that's in the matte finish, and that is pretty much my go-to liner. I don't think I'll probably ever use anything else, and that's mainly because of the paintbrush tip. I don't really care for the marker tips. Here, those are my lashes that I'm going to be applying today. I got them from my local beauty supply store, and you just gotta find what you like. I typically used to be the more natural eyelash kind of girl and kind of developed into this dramatic look, as you guys will see. But yeah, so this is probably going to be the hardest part of your makeup look if you're applying lashes, but don't be discouraged. You're going to need a basic tweezer like what I just showed, and I use hair glue. Some people prefer using the lash glue, but I don't feel like for all the effort and the work that you put in to get them on that they last long enough. So I have to use hair glue. So I was having trouble, guys, getting the glue out of the bottle, so I had to poke it with a pencil, and it still didn't work. So I ended up using the glue on the pencil and put it on the weft. No, this is not how I usually do it, but it worked for the day, so I wasn't going to complain. Ghetto fabulous, I know. But if you guys can see that, there's going to be a divot on the weft, which is where the glue should kind of lay, or be applied, whatever. And in that divot, you want to kind of wait 30 seconds to a minute. You don't want to put the lash on while it's soaking wet, or else the lash will just move all over your eye and you'll just have glue all over your eyelid and it'll just be a mess. You also don't want to apply too much. You need a very, very little bit. And you just want to apply it to your eye the best you can. And that's all I can really say. Some people, it's easier to use a tweezer. Some people, it's easier to use their fingers. For me, it's a combination of both. So you just have to try your hand and see what works. And don't be scared to pop the suckers off and start over. Because literally, you're going to have to. Especially your first couple times. Don't feel discouraged. Just plan a couple more minutes in your makeup day, your makeup get ready time for lash application. As you can see, popped it off right there. And you're going to have to maybe peel off, especially with hair glue, you're going to have to peel off the old dried glue just because it's going to be dried on there. It's not hard. It's kind of like rubber. Just peel it off. Yep, 4 tries later. Here I am, still applying this lash. Still. And if you guys can see, I applied it with my tweezer because it was just better precision. And then I applied the pressure to lay it down with my fingertips because I don't feel like the tweezer is as precise when it comes to sticking it down. And that is probably the hardest part, is getting it to a place where you can lay down each piece, because you don't want a part sticking up or you're going to look wild. So you have to make sure that each piece of the lash is laid down, and you want to do that before the glue dries. So it's kind of like a timing thing. You don't want the glue to be too wet, but you don't want it to dry too much. Looks so crazy, guys, with the one lash on. But look how much of a difference that makes. Crazy, right? So we're on to the next lash, and I just feel like it's just like when you try to polish. I feel like it's like when you try to polish your left hand using your right hand, it's easy. And then you go and try to polish your right hand using your left hand, and it's not. I easily can pop on my right lash. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I can just always do it faster. So, hey, it is what it is. If you guys see right there, I had stuck the lash too far up on my lid. So I literally just pulled it up and reapplied it closer to my lash line, which again, you can only do if the glue is still kind of wet, because once it dries, you're not going to be able to re-stick it down anywhere because it's just going to be too dry and too tacky. So, or I'm sorry, not tacky enough. So that's a part of the timing thing I was referring to. If you can see, there's a little bit of the lash glue on my lid, but I don't know if I do it here. But it's fairly simple to kind of peel that off and have your eyeshadow look more clean. And now I look fabulous. So now I'm going to go ahead, since we're done with the whole eyelash application, I'm going to apply my Il Makiage primer. That's what I've been using still. Haven't really found anything, that stands out as crazy better. So that's what I use. And that kind of wipes away any of the fallout I might have gotten from my eyeshadow. Now I'm going to go in and conceal, and I don't usually conceal these dark spots on the side of my face, but I feel like since I've been more out in the sun, they've gotten darker. Maybe I'm tripping. But I'm also concealing the dark areas around my mouth and nose. So now, of course, I have to go under my eye and conceal, and I'm just going to use that same angled brush I used on my eyelids. And this look, guys, is really just going to be an everyday look. I'm not going to be doing anything crazy. So, you know, it's just going to be something that I would feel comfortable stepping out in and not looking like I'm going to somebody's wedding. But as you can see here, I just buffed it out with the buffing ball, the blender ball, and that just gives it a cleaner look. It almost already looks like I have foundation on like the lower half of my face, but that's just not my skin tone, and that's more for lightening. So that's the Tarte Rich Honey shade that I'm going to be using, their SPF 15 foundation, clay foundation. And I've used this, I bought this honestly quite a while ago, and I haven't used it too much. So using this today for like the first time in a while. I really enjoyed the formula. I liked how creamy and light it was. And I just did a rough application of the foundation. And again, I got my huge blending ball and just went in. I've really been enjoying the blender ball since I've started using it. I think it gives me a more airbrushed look to my makeup. And there's no stroke. You can't see any brush stroke. Did want to add that I'm not a huge fan after using it after this long period of time of the Tarte foundation. It's very pretty on camera, I will say that. But in person, it gives you kind of like, or especially taking pictures when you have a flash on, it gives you this hazy, ashy, pale look that I'm not super in love with. And ladies, don't forget your neck, okay? Do not forget your neck. Please, for the love of God, don't forget your neck. This is going to be my MAC Prep and Prime, and I put this under my eye to give a more matte finish underneath my eye. I don't know why I like it. It just gives a different look instead of everything being so one-dimensional and flat. You have maybe a dewy or a shiny foundation look everywhere else, and then under your eye is just kind of matte and just super, I don't know, just a super finished look. I don't really know why I like it like that. I just do. I love it. So that's what I do under my eye to give my makeup look that oomph that I think it deserves. I'm excited, guys. I love doing these makeup tutorials for you guys. That was my Tarte highlighter in the shade Temptress, and those are their Man Eater highlighters, okay? So with the highlighter, you'll see I just do like a C motion from the top of my brow, like the corner of my brow, to the end of my cheekbone, or kind of right underneath my eye. And I just always, that's just the go-to way I do my highlighter and bronzer, is just a little C. And then I might go down my nose, lips, and chin, depending on how I'm feeling. It's not an everyday thing. So I'm going to use my favorite blush that's not a blush, which is a lip color by Flesh in the shade Firm. And that fantabulous setting spray by Urban Decay, the all-nighter spray. I need to go buy a full-size bottle, but hey. And then the cherry on top is my MAC lip pencil in the shade Chestnut, which is like the only shade I use. And some unidentified color of lip gloss that I bought super cheap. Got it from Express, but hey, it worked. So I used it. Wouldn't recommend it though. It's super tacky, and you get like, when you talk, it starts just gunking up in the crevice of your lips. Don't really want to get too detailed into it, but would not recommend it. That's probably why I have a whole tube of it, and it's been a while since I bought it. This is the finished and complete look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I know it was a bit fast and a little messy. The eyeshadow gave me some troubles. But final thoughts on this. I have used it before, but never in a tutorial. I don't love it. The colors aren't pigmented enough at all to me. They are. You can see them, but you have to put on a lot. And then on top of that, you guys can just see how much fallout there is on the tray, like on the actual packaging. And then for it to not blend well either. Didn't love this palette. Feel like that really gave me issues with this look. But I made it work, guys. So sorry the finished product wasn't better. The lashes, this eye, the left eye, always gives me more issues just because it does. I don't know. I feel like that's when you try to do your right hand, it just gives you more issues. Don't really know why, but this is it, guys. Hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe so I can bring you guys more content, and have an amazing, blessed day.